weeks ago when we planted the draw, and we weren't sure what to expect. We were really hopeful because we got a really nice rainfall a couple of days after planting. But then nature had its way and a drought set in, and it has been parched ever since. Despite the lack of rainfall, we are encouraged because we did get germination. We also realized that we'd only put down about half the amount of lime that had been recommended and about half the amount of fertilizer. And the area we're currently viewing is one of 3 tree islands that we created when we built this plot. It's supposed to be kind of a little more natural looking to the deer, and it creates a transition area as they come out of the deeper woods. Oh, and there goes Scout. He always has to be out front. And looks like he's also going to do some business. Thanks, Scout. Appreciate the help, buddy. Although in clearing the plot and stumping it, we created kind of a berm with all the slash and the stumps pushed up along the side, yet we were still able to create some access points for the deer to come in and out. And this area of the plot had been worked before. The growth is a little bit better. There had been a little bit more lime put down in the past, and it does take a while for the lime to kick in. There's a corn feeder in this area, but we don't fire that up until the fall. The area dead ahead abuts the main ridge at Black Hills Deer Camp. We planted a screening cover there, but it didn't take real well because of the drought. So we'll figure out something else for this hunting season, and we'll try again next spring. Lack of rainfall is something we just can't control, so we'll just deal with it. I suspect in the fall, we'll just overseed, and in the springtime, put in a little bit more lime, churn it all back into the soil, and plant again. The draw wasn't the only new plot we worked on. So let's take a little hike up the trail, maybe 200 yards, to another new plot called East End. Watch closely as we come down the hill to the plot past the blind, and you'll see Scout kicks out a nice deer already feeding on the plot. There are actually 2 deer in there, and the other one deep in the cover. Scouts sometimes forget that he's supposed to be a bird dog. Thanks, buddy. We planted two different kinds of seeds at East End. One type on one half of the plot and another on the other half of the plot. As you can see, it looks like the ferns just took over. We had planned to kind of whack those down, maybe half stem, but the growth underneath was actually substantial enough that we were afraid of damaging the plants, so we just let sleeping dogs lie. And speaking of dogs, it looks like Scout's not giving up on where that deer went. Leaving East End, we're going to take about a 3/8 of a mile hike and go to another plot called Outpost. This is actually an expansion of an existing outpost plot. Primarily clover, but there's some other planting as well. Because of some water in the area nearby a marsh, we ended up with kind of a horseshoe shape here. And again, the parched conditions made it real tough. However, we're not discouraged, and we think that we'll be able to we're not discouraged. We think we'll be able to really bring this plot to life. And we'll be back next month for an update, so stay tuned.